Hey, yo, it's Dominic D'Angelo. It's Rumored Innuendo, and I'm here with Mr. Robert Karpus, WD Creative _ish. Robert, happy Tuesday to you. We got some stuff to talk about. You are looking thugonomics with that hood up.
Sure. I haven't even looked at the run sheet. I've been running around like crazy today, so I'm excited for whatever it is that we're going to be talking about today, Dom. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. Oh, Monday Night Raw was on last night.
Yeah, that whole thing going on, right?
Heard of that?
Mm-hmm. That's
It's
a
fine.
pretty. Every Monday night it usually happens, Robert.
Well, sometimes it happens Monday first thing in the morning.
Oh,
Sometimes it's, midday. Sometimes they're in Belize, and it's whatever time it is in Belize. And you better Belize that E is joining us, and he says, "What's up?"
what's up? What's up?
Wrestling Old Head says, "Good day to you all. R&I, anyone else have Back to the Future flashbacks when Braun pushed Logan Paul? I swear I heard Braun call him Butthead."
That is
I'm
very.
always good for a little Back to the Future reference, so thank you for that. Scumbag Trav says, "Yes, I made it to a live episode, and CM Punk is champion. Here's hoping you all are having a good of a day as me."
Yes.
Let's all hope we're having a scumbag-tastic day. Willie Thornbrew says, "If Logan Paul joins the Vision, is he going to wrestle more often now?" No.
I don't think so.
No,
Nope.
he's not. Jeff Henninger says, "Hello, R&I. And here I thought we were getting a babyface Logan Paul. Man, for about a half second, I was genuinely terrified
Were you really?
that he was going to be a babyface and they were going to really try this." Dre Owen says, "Hello, R&I. Why is Logan Paul now with Heyman? Should that have been LA Knight?" Dre Owens is now banned
Oh,
in perpetuity from the show.
oh my. Well,
The thought of Paul Heyman with LA Knight. No. And
well,
Jeff Henninger says, "Why does Robert look like he's about to hack the CIA in an early 2000s movie?" Easy, because I had my hoodie up and forgot that this is a video podcast. And without it, I would have looked a little like Doc Brown. We don't
you
need
would
that.
you do look like you're from like Swordfish, where like you're the hacker that gets in there and you have the smarmy comments.
Well,
You're the
that is
comment.
pretty much
That's pretty much you, basically.
yeah. That is my my brand. Um, Dom,
Yes, Robert.
take us away.
Oh, you want to talk about
I'm waiting
Raw?
for you to start the flipping show. It's that kind of day. A lot of stuff going on. A lot of demands. A lot of things going on. I did. Did you post what I recorded
Oh,
this
yes,
morning?
I did. And
Something
yeah,
Sports
yesterday
Entertainment
too.
with started that at 7. Was up working starting at 5 a.m. today.
Mm,
Always a good time as Dom's drinking that delicious Starbucks coffee.
yes, it's
I may
actually
grab.
water in here right now, though.
Way to kill the gimmick. I actually may grab myself a Celsius now that I'm thinking about it.
You can.
While you tee things up.
I can vamp.
No, you don't need to vamp. You can chat. I can do two things at once. If I turn the camera gimmick off, it doesn't give that weird feeling of like I'm on a boat or something like that and everything's moving around.
That's right. Well, yeah. Hey, Robert, we did have Raw last night, and I thought it was a pretty darn good show. Good follow up to Saturday night's main event. Set some intriguing things up, and but some things also kind of in certain ways felt part of the course. But overall, I thought it was an effective show and an effective Monday. We got some neat things cooking. Robert, do you feel the same or a little different?
So it was a perfectly fine episode of Raw from beautiful Rio Rancho, New Mexico. Look, if you want meth, and I mean good meth, head on out to Rio Rancho. Use promo code RUMOR, and you might not get stabbed.
That's right.
But
Heisenberg Industries.
yes, Heisenberg Industries. Triple H had tweeted about Raw. He didn't bother to show up Saturday Night's Main Event, but he tweeted about Raw, and he. I feel like Theo Vaughn drinking Celsius. Let's let that be the end of any comparisons to me and Theo Vaughn.
Yeah.
No, it was great, man. Bring meth. I don't know. Turn him into Boomhauer for some reason.
Yeah, that was Boomhauer-esque. Very Boomhauer-esque.
It works anyway. Hunter had basically tweeted out like, "Hey, new world champion," and this idea of the landscape of the company is going to change after this Raw. So they were like telegraphing something. And we had talked yesterday.
Right.
This week has been a month. We said yesterday, hey, Punk's first challenger should be sort of a transitionally challenger, a guy that you just kind of you're feeding to Punk, ease into a story. You don't need to give away something huge because it's Survivor Series. It felt like they were teeing up LA Knight. He started rattling off people he would want to wrestle. First, he put over his wife's ass, which smart married man. That is a very smart man who wants to stay married, especially when he's hanging around all those NXT girls. But he mentions AJ Styles, he mentions Dom, he mentions Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Doesn't mention LA Knight, and I'm like, oh no, it's gonna be LA Knight. It's gonna be a dude who really can't wrestle and talks and acts like he's a wrestler. And I was close. Wasn't LA Knight, it was Logan Paul.
It was Logan Paul indeed, Robert. And I like people were kind of against it, but I like it. I think Logan Paul's such a fantastic heel, and Punk was already playing into that aspect, like, oh, I opened my big mouth. No, go to SmackDown, all that kind of thing. And I thought that was kind of a fun dynamic. And then obviously you have Heyman, the Vision getting involved, and then the tease that Logan Paul is he actually aligning with CM Punk, and is he going to be an unlikely ally?
Look, there was about a half a second where I was genuinely worried that they were going to have the hubris to say, let's make Logan Paul a babyface. You already had Hunter trying to make Donald Trump a babyface yesterday.
Wait,
So
explain that. I'm unfamiliar with that.
Hunter made comments. He was at the White House. That's why he wasn't. He was at a White House event. That's why he wasn't at Saturday Night's Main Event. And he was putting over Trump. And part of his praise of Trump made a lot of sense. It was the idea of Trump was great in the WWE because he embraced the role. He wasn't afraid to look foolish. He wasn't afraid to look like an outsized character. And he's not wrong. I was there at the time when Trump was there. It was like that guy, as a celebrity, was not afraid to play in the WWE environment. WWE is very similar to Saturday Night Live. When
Yes.
you're a celebrity and you're in on it and you're okay looking foolish and going all out, it's going to be better. If not, you're Jeremy Piven.
Right.
So from that perspective, like, all right, but the idea that Logan Paul was going to be a full-fledged babyface felt a little insane. But also, everyone was expecting a Jey Uso heel turn by the end of the night.
For sure, for sure. And Robert, I gotta say, I'm always kind of like, I always like that storyline of, an unlikely bedfellow or somebody that you would not expect coming into play and making the save for you. And the Nikita Koloff, Dusty Rhodes aspect of it all, I think is cool. But yeah, I think Logan Paul, would he necessarily fit that bill? I don't know.
I don't know if I would want Logan Paul to be an unlikely bedfellow, but guys,
Hey,
whether your bedfellow is likely or unlikely, can we talk to you about our friends at Blue Chew? Logan Paul is a dick, and he certainly entered the room dick first. Blue Chew isn't just a tablet, it's a cheat code for your crotch. Stronger, harder, longer lasting, like someone gave your downstairs a pep talk and a gym membership. Blue Chew is the original brand offering chewable tablets for better sex. Guys, this isn't just about performance. It's about establishing your legacy. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. As always, get your first month of Blue Chew free. Just use promo code RUMOR at checkout. Pay $5 for shipping. That's it. Join Blue Chew's mission to upgrade humanity one thrust at a time. Head to BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring this episode of Rumor and Innuendo.
Yeah, Robert. So not only did we have the Vision and CM Punk get mixing it up early on, but we did have an opening match, and that happened to be at the Penta. Stephanie McCoy and Nikki Bella going up against Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. We get Perez and Rodriguez getting the win, and Nikki Bella feeling the effects of a loss afterwards. What'd you think of this, Robert, as an opener?
At least they got it out of the way early. Look, towards the end of the night, Nikki Bella cut a promo that could have just been plucked straight from my brain. I don't know why I'm still here. I don't know why I bothered to come back. I am not the same that I was before. I really should not be here anymore. And I went, you know what? You're right. Who am I to argue with the great Nikki Bella?
Stephanie McCoy would take exception to that because she wants Nikki to stick around.
Poor Stephanie. Having to go in there and Stephanie Vicaria and praise Nikki when it was so clearly like no one bought that. No one's like, oh, you are such an inspiration. You are a great wrestler. We love you. You are the best wrestling podcast producer ever. We're so happy to see you every Monday through Friday at noon Eastern. Am I projecting a little much?
Is
Might
there
be.
something going on?
I don't know what you're talking about here.
Huh?
I'm gonna sick Ted DiBiase on you. He's gonna take out the whole D'Angelo clan.
It's not going to happen. Damn you, Ted. Damn you. All right. Penta, El Grande Americano. We had a little chicanery going on, but Penta perseveres and gets the win off of Grande Americano. This was fun, and I think this was needed for Penta. He felt like a big deal. The crowd reacted to him really well. This seems like a good momentum shift for him. I don't know. Do you feel differently, Robert?
Yeah, it was a good win. Clearly, we're furthering the idea that Los Grande Americanos had the numbers, and eventually we're going to partner Penta with Rusev. This was fine. Where I was a little surprised in formatting is obviously when you're in New Mexico, anytime you're near the border, they're going to treat it like it's northern Mexico in the sense of lucha libre tradition. That this audience is an audience that has grown up loving lucha wrestling. They do this in Arizona. They do this in Texas. It's the first time Raw's been in New Mexico. They were doing the same thing. So you gave them this match where it's Penta versus a fake lucha, and then immediately follow it up with the Dominic Mysterio segment. It was too back to back. I think there should have been something in between.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're right, though. I mean, like, it is a kind of setup. Felt a little, in that regard, going back to back, maybe a little heavy handed in certain ways. But you did have this Dom Mysterio promo, which I thought was a lot of fun, and the unexpected surprise of Rey Mysterio making his return.
I was glad to see Ray back.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the challenge with Dom is so over as this heel who's not a heel,
Right.
that when you put him in there with anybody, there's a little bit of a push and pull. And the fact that he was in there, even with his dad, even in this big surprise moment, you needed to lean in on the chicken excrement heel that Dom Mysterio is. And he was too entertaining. The line about Eddie, and he's like, keep my father's name out your mouth.
That was good.
The crowd wants to cheer for Dom. Don't give them a reason.
Right.
And you want them 100% behind Ray. You want them all thinking, yeah, Dom, it's funny when he cheats with Rusev, or it's funny when he's, screwing around on Penta or Sheamus, but not Ray. Like, we want to see Ray get his revenge. And they kind of muddied it a little bit.
I don't think as bad as maybe you're putting it out, because I think the crowd was really into it. They were saying whoop his ass and everything.
Ray won him back. Ray won him back because Rey Mysterio is the ultimate baby face on like Mount Perpetually Over.
Right. And I thought it was a super effective segment. It was probably my favorite segment of the night, to be honest. I think overall it was a lot of fun, I thought. But yeah, I'm intrigued. Where do you go with this, Robert? Do you line Ray up for the next title challenger for Dom, or do you take a different route and have Ray kind of be in the wings, so to speak?
So they got a couple guys. So something that kind of happened later on in the show was the Finn Balor, JD McDonough stuff, where they took on AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, and Sheamus got involved.
Right.
And Dom was out there because he was annoyed that Judgment Day weren't there for him when he's never been there for them. Funny little bit of storytelling. But the nice thing about the components are you can go Dom Ray, makes sense. You can go Dom Sheamus because of what happened there, makes sense. You still have Dom and AJ Styles teed up. You've got 6-man tag situation that you can spring in there. You could bump it up to an 8-man tag at some point in time if you really needed to. They have so many places to pivot with this group of guys. That's how you have a robust mid card. So Dom being the Intercontinental Champion, it's fun. I think Dom versus Ray at Survivor Series is a somewhat big enough match that it can buffer the War Games matches themselves, and then you have sort of one other add-on somewhere else. And a 4-match card for Survivor Series is totally fine.
Would you holster that, though? I just feel like Ray Dom is another big match that should be almost reserved for WrestleMania again. Or am I off?
You got a long time between now and Mania.
I know you do, but it just feels like that to me.
I think you've got Ray back. Do the one-on-one match, because I don't think they can hold Dom back as a full-on heel for much longer.
I think that's fair too. That's definitely fair. Speaking of Intercontinental Champions, we had Becky Lynch interrupt Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett to make her claim against Maxine Dupree. And,
Good. I don't want to hear Joe Testatore's voice ever again because I now and forever are going to associate it with that Florida Georgia game from Saturday. And as much as I loved Joe Tessitore,
wow.
now it's like I hear him and I just think of like, nope, he was one of the harbingers that called one of the darkest days in American history. The robbery that was absolutely a catch. Go back and watch it. I know it. Byron Saxton knows it. Sports Illustrated knows it. Becky Lynch knows it.
Becky Lynch knows it now too, man. So Joe Tessitore took a heel turn. I didn't know that.
He's always been a heel, Dom. You weren't paying attention.
Wow. All right. Well, what'd you think of this segment here, Robert?
I like it. Like Becky coming out of the crowd unannounced, rallying against Maxine Dupree. All it does is add further credibility to Maxine Dupree, which is something that the WWE desperately needs to do. And the fact that Becky wants to utilize her platform and her time as Women's Intercontinental Champion to elevate Maxine, who's been working hard. I love this. I think this is great. Maxine has been improving her game, and now it doesn't feel like a novelty storyline. It genuinely feels like she's gotten under Becky's skin. You want to see a straight up match with these two. It could take place on a Raw, and it'll feel like, hey, that's a 9 o'clock main event. That's a 10 o'clock main event, not this is an 8:30 slotted match.
Right. And I think it speaks to the talent of Becky, just like, and builds her resume, and then in turn builds the people she's working with resume. So like Lyra Valkyria and Maxine Dupree. And so I think this will go into a good, if things develop well enough and everything like that, this will be a real sticking point for all those girls. So I like it, Robert. Up next, Robert, we had Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. Speaking of Lyra, going up against the Kabuki Warriors in tag team action. It is the Kabuki Warriors who get the win. Valkyria gets tapped out after an inadvertent bump onto Bayley, and we had a save by Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. This compelling enough for you here, Robert?
Loved it. This worked perfectly. We've been waiting for the Bayley heel turn. We still haven't gotten it. It got the Kabuki Warriors a win. Tapping to Asuka is totally fine. They had that great second week in a row video package. It just feels like an FU to Goldberg, which is super fun. You've now had Bayley and Lyra disappoint each other in losses. You set up an Alexa Charlotte Kabuki Warriors match for next week. Like a lot of stuff going on, ticking off multiple boxes in one match. It's fantastic.
Speaking of next week, they did announce 2 matches for the John Cena tournament. It's Sheamus going up against Shinsuke Nakamura, and then we also have Rusev. Oh man, help me out here, Robert. Who's the other person going up?
Damian Priest.
Damian Priest, thank you.
Did that off the top of the old brain hole.
Nice job. I couldn't do it.
Well, that doesn't surprise anybody that watches our show. Dom, who goes into the wrong rooms, that he set up the room.
That I set up.
I don't even know what room you were in yesterday. It's amazing.
Yeah, me either.
Just traveling. He's an interdimensional traveler. You gotta love it. What I loved was we said the John Cena tournament was going to be an opportunity for them to set up matches that we wouldn't normally get otherwise. They can be in continuity, out of continuity, play with it however you will. With Sheamus and Nakamura, Sheamus is obviously feuding with the Judgment Day. Nakamura has his issues with the My Family Tree.
Right.
With the Rusev Priest match, Priest has his issue with Aleister Black. Rusev has the issue with Los Grande Americanos. So plenty of opportunities if they decide for any or none of that interference. Something that I did like was the Jey Uso promo with Punk that made a little bit of sense in saying like, hey, I'm cool with you simply because you didn't cheat. You didn't take any shortcuts. Nobody interfered. There was no LA Knight, Braun Breaker, Bronson. Like, you just beat me straight up. We're cool.
Yeah.
And then Paul Heyman showing up later as the devil on his shoulder, which would have broken his shoulder, saying like, I see what you're doing. I know what's going on here. You guys are aligned. And then we got the swerve, bro.
Swerve, bro. Swerve.
We got Swerve, not Strickland. Not Principal Strickland.
No,
Keeping the Back to the Future going.
Oh my God, yeah. Well, Robert, we also had that tag team match too, the World Championship tag team match, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus that Judgment Day. And sure enough, like you predicted, Sheamus gets involved. Styles and Lee retained. What do you think of that?
Crowd chanted, "This is awesome." So, for all intents and purposes, that's a win. It
Mm-hmm.
was good. We talked about it a few moments ago. It got you a bunch of different stories, and it didn't overshadow your main event tag title match or tag team match, not title.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, let's get to that main event. Double count out goes down, and we have a confrontation nearing the end after the fact with Logan Paul shows up looking to defend CM Punk, but pops him with those brass knucks and then hands those brass knucks over to Mr. Heyman. And it appears, could that signify that Logan Paul will be with the Vision? What do you
I,
think, Robert?
I think it signifies that they got to do the maths as we get closer to War Games. And we kept saying, we don't know what's going to, we thought there was a clear path for War Games, and then things got a little murky. Now it kind of feels like it's more of strange bedfellows on the babyface side. LA Knight has issues with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Roman Reigns has issues with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. CM Punk has issues with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Jey Uso has issues with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. That's 4. On the other side, you got Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. That's 2. Let's do some maths here. 4,
Okay.
2. You need 5 and 5.
Yeah.
Logan Paul being the third man in that match, hey, that makes a hell of a lot of sense. He can go in there. He can do the War Gamesy stuff. It's fine. It can literally be a one-off. And then you need to add 2 more guys or 1 more guy and 1 beast. So obviously Beast Mortos.
Yes, of course.
Or maybe Brock Lesnar.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's kind of fun. We'll see what ultimately happens. But that feels more War Gamesy than this other path, which felt like the MFTs going up against like Team Sami Zayn and Nakamura and Fraxium. Yeah, or the Wyatts or something. So they pivoted pretty nice. You got a couple options of where you can go with CM Punk. You can go with Punk and Logan Paul main eventing a Raw or a Saturday night's main event, and I think that's fine. And still get a big Survivor Series match out of it.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think it's fair. I think it's a fun, kind of intriguing element to add into play. I think those two will have good promo exchanges back and forth, and you can have a lot of fun with that. So overall, I thought it was a pretty good Raw, Robert. I liked it.
It was totally fine. I think the one guy that's sort of lost in the shuffle right now, coming out of Saturday Night's main event, is Cody.
Yeah, Cody is a little bit, and hey, he had a little bit of an interview, Robert.
He had a little bit of an interview. What does that mean? Like someone like ran up to him on the street and they were like, "Hey,
I got to talk to you, Cody, about this."
have you seen?" I don't know what's going on with my algorithm, but I keep getting the clips. There's this dude who it's like a show on the subway in New York where he's interviewing people and the microphone is hidden by like little Metro cards.
Yes, I've seen that before too.
Don't know what the deal is with this guy. It's weird.
It is weird. It's funky,
He just gets people on there just doing like their like random like hot takes.
Right, and
So
it's like
here for wrestling.
Some comedians too. Like I think I've seen Bill Burr do it or something like that before too.
I think you said comedians.
Oh, I love Bill Burr.
I host podcasts with comedians, so
oh, that's true, right?
Did you forget what Scott and Dan and Mike do for a living when they're not here talking the wrestlings?
I thought they were.
What did Cody say during this interview? Tell me about Cody.
So Cody said this about The Rock, Robert. So he says, I think Rock is on there, the Mount Rushmore wise. He came back at a very tumultuous WWE a year or so ago and decided, nope, I'm not going to deal with that. And I'm instead going to create a new character, even though I'm already one of the greatest characters ever, that being the final boss. We just scratched the surface on the final boss. There's something really incredibly special there. So Rock is on my Mount Rushmore. So obviously the big takeaway here, scratching the surface of the final boss. Does that mean there's more to come with The Rock here, Robert?
It means that there was a bigger story that they were starting to tell, and then Dwayne Johnson got in the way of The Rock, and we never got to see where that story was going. It felt like this final boss character was really interesting. It was The Rock as Vince McMahon, which is so much fun. This notion, this idea of I'm on the board of TKO. I have all this power. I'm a huge star in Hollywood. I'm a multimedia mogul. I own an empire, and I can just mess with you guys whenever I want. Or I can get in the ring and kick your ass. That's fun.
Yes.
Didn't really get to see it truly pay off.
No.
That Mania absence is still pretty inexcusable.
Yeah, it definitely shook things up and not in a good way, for sure. Cody had another comment here. He said, in regards to like his persona and how he might be portrayed in WWE. So this is what he had to say. I think a lot about it now because now I'm often put out there as the face of the company. And I don't know if that's accurate or not, but I think often where I'm positioned and I'm honored by that role. But I think, is he still inside, referring to himself as the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes? I know it's like a crazy thing. Is this disruptor? Is he still in there? How would he approach this? How would he feel? I try everything I can not to become a corporate version of myself, even in the most corporate settings. It could be quite easily, actually. You get everything you ever want, and then you got to find it inside. Is it still lit? Is it still on fire? What I took from that, Robert, was yeah, you don't want to be that conventional corporate face. But at the same time, too, it made me think about the storyline that's currently going on with him, too. And Cody's a smart person and kind of sees 2 steps ahead in a lot of ways. Do you think this is in reference to what he's currently doing, too?
I think it's a little bit of him trying to acknowledge that what made his return so successful, made his run outside the WWE so successful, was he was an outsider. He was a disruptor.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're the disruptor and you become the establishment, you lose a little something.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm fine with him being to some extent corporate without him being the degree of corporate he was in AEW. In AEW, he was legitimately a front office executive. He was the guy who was trying to manage talent. He was the guy who was trying to worry about publicity for the organization, as well as what's best for his character without being too selfish. I
Sure.
think if he could have redone that stupid stipulation where he can't go after the world title,
Yeah.
they probably would have redone that. This version of him is, yeah, he's a little selfish in the what can I do to make sure that I get over, but it's how do I get the company over, and what do I do to make things not feel stale. That he's open to different ideas. If they come to him and say, hey, we want to turn you heel, I think he could find a path forward to making that work. But that's future Cody's problem, and our future problem will be coming back tomorrow to preview Dynamite and talk all the other exciting news and notes. I want to get a little into I was listening to Something to Wrestle With, which is here on the Ad Free Shows Network, of which we are a part of. JBL was on with Conrad and talked about how he believes that Vince McMahon will have a book in the next year or two.
Oh.
So that could be kind of interesting. I'd love to chat a little bit more about that with y'all tomorrow. And Dominic and I will be back at noon Eastern on plethora of platforms, including the WWE Creative _ISH X account, the at Dominic D'Angelo X account, the at SE Scoops X account, the at Podcast Heat X account, as well as on YouTube on Rumor and Innuendo, Podcast Heat, and ad-free shows. That is a lot of shilling. So on behalf of, now I know why you wear something on your head. It's kind of fun. On behalf of the other guy who's got his slightly balding head covered, Dominic D'Angelo, I'm Robert Karpolis. Best of luck in your future endeavors.
Uh-oh. Don't hack us, Robert, please. Okay, the show's ending now.
Shh.